José Graziano de Silva, Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, announces an increase for the third year in the number of people experiencing chronic food shortage. The increase in global temperature peaks and weather hazards, such as floods and droughts, are one of the main causes of serious food crises, according to a report published by 5 UN agencies. The UN report said extreme weather events were a leading cause of global hunger, rising last year, with women, babies, and old people particularly vulnerable to the worsening trend.
Again, it's the third time for me to announce an increase on the hunger number of people in the world. Now we achieve 821 million people that are considered undernourished in 2017.
The UN report further states that increasingly frequent shocks such as extreme rainfall and temperature, as well as droughts, storms and floods, helped push the number of undernourished people to 821 million in 2017. That figure, equivalent to about 1 in 9 people globally, was up from 804 million in 2016, according to the annual report, The State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World.
Every 5 seconds, a child is dying from starvation. And when there's $300 trillion worth of wealth in the world today, that's unacceptable and it's inexcusable. We can talk about UN reform all we want to, and we are cooperating, collaborating more effectively today than ever. But we've got to have more realistic approaches and not take some of the same failed approaches we have in the past in some of these countries where we have nothing to show for it after 20, 30, or 40 years.
The number of people who suffer from hunger has been growing over the past 3 years, returning to levels that prevailed almost a decade ago. Equal of concern is that 22.2% of children under 5 are affected by stunting in 2017. Low and middle-income countries in particular were harshly impacted by ever more frequent climate extremes.
There are a few things we can say though. We can say that hunger is worse in places where conflict and climate extremes intersect. So when you analyze the 10 countries with the biggest, where conflict plays the biggest role in livelihoods, there are more than 54 million people affected by climate extremes. It's a bit like a pressure cooker where climate-related factors add fuel under the kettle.
While floods, droughts and other extreme weather events have always occurred, scientists say global warming is boosting the frequency and severity of such events.
I would say some countries have made remarkable progress in integrating climate change adaptation measures into their national policies. So they have a more forward-looking way to manage soil and water resources. Those are the ones that are likely to be more and more affected. So they have climate change adaptation strategies and policies. And those countries that have built social safety nets, such as insurance, climate risk insurance, in order to deal with catastrophic events.
In countries where conflict and climate shocks coincide, the impact on food insecurity was even more relentless. The report said nearly 66 million people worldwide required urgent humanitarian assistance last year.